Here's a simplified approach to explaining ADHD. I tell the little kids, you have an awesome brain, but it's not the pay attention kind. It's the notice everything kind. Instead of being focused on tasks, our brain is more easily distractible. What do I mean by that? ADHD is a neurological networking problem in the brain. The computer, the thinking, learning brain, sits above the eyebrows, and there's not a problem with that part of the brain in ADHD. But 2/3 of the brain is a regulatory organ. We're not using it to think or learn. We're using it to work behind the scenes to do things like help our balance and coordination, regulate our temperature, help us breathe harder and faster when we exercise. We don't think about any of those things, and yet our brain is regulating all of those functions behind the curtain. One of the most important networks is the focus network. It's called the frontostriatal complex. In about 10% of human beings, that network has wonky Wi-Fi. It comes and goes. When someone with ADHD is interested in what they're doing, or passionate about what they're doing, or there's urgency, things are very acutely happening or unfolding, the network comes up. But the minute the ADHD brain gets bored or frustrated, the network goes down. Hey, sweetie, I need you to do this, that, and one more thing. Sure, Mom. On the way to do none of those things because the network buffers and the data is lost. Halfway through a math problem that the child understands, the network buffers and we've lost our place. Same thing with reading comprehension and any of the tasks we do in our day-to-day occupational world that we find boring or less than interesting. So when the thinking, learning brain is offline, there's definitely something running in the background of the computer, and that's called the default mode network. There's interplay between the focus network and the default mode network. The default mode network is the random thought generating daydreaming part of the brain, and it is off the chain, off leash in the ADHD brain so much of the time because the focus network is buffering. The default mode network can lead to great random creative thoughts, but it can also go down the path of frustration, self-loathing, low self-esteem, being overwhelmed and anxious about what may be getting ready to happen. And if your brain tends to go in that direction, treating ADHD can actually help with those symptoms as well. So that's ADHD Simplified. Any explanation of ADHD is going to leave out important details. How we conceptualize and explain ADHD is so important because the language we use helps reduce stigma and misunderstanding around ADHD. So often as parents, we talk about he's a totally different child. That's not what we're trying to do. He's much calmer. Again, not what we're trying to do. Her grades are so much better. Not what we're trying to do. We're treating a medical condition to give the child the best chance to attain those goals. Medication in and of itself will not improve behavior or grades or executive function because it's like treating any other medical condition. Like treating asthma, if the asthma is well controlled, it doesn't mean that you'll be in good physical shape. It means that you'll have the capacity to work out, to go to the gym. Having ADHD treated increases the likelihood of building the skills of independence through trial and error in daily life like neurotypical people do. Add to that some coaching or peers that help or parents or teachers that help, and ADHD brains can catch up pretty quickly with things like organization, time management, and emotional regulation. The medication is not supposed to control your child's behavior or create the zombie effect that so many parents fear. It's supposed to connect the network that has wonky Wi-Fi. That's the neurological condition we call ADHD.